Climatic conditions in Be'er Sheva were not good. Rainfall was dicey at best, and the overall area was subject to periods of drought, which meant nothing grew. This fact is the opening line of PEREK 26, in which we are told that, due to a drought, Yitzchak emigrated to the nearest large city and became a resident of Gerar. The local chieftain of Gerar was Avimelech, possibly a descendant of the Avimelech to whom we have been introduced earlier over the Sarai incident. On account of Rivka's beauty, Yitzchak is concerned for self-preservation and does as his father did, introduces his wife as his sister. The plan becomes undone. Fortunately, though, all ends well, with Avimelech providing Yitzchak with the personal guarantee of safety and citizenship rights to live in Gerar. Yitzchak, through the blessings of God, becomes quite wealthy, and understandably tensions arise between Yitzchak, the immigrant, and the local population of Gerar. This puts pressure on Avimelech, and Yitzchak's residency rights to live in Gerar are revoked. He relocates from Gerar into the Nachal Gerar, the Gerar Valley, which would appear to be a dry riverbed subject to periodic flooding that extended from Gerar all the way down to Rechovot, south of Be'er Sheva. In the third segment, we are told of a vision in which HaKadosh Baruch Hu appears to Yitzchak and guarantees him that the promises made to Avraham will continue on into his lifetime and the lifetime of his descendants. Meanwhile, Avimelech, the sensitive creature that he was, sets out to patch up things between himself and Yitzchak. This results in a peace treaty between Avimelech and Yitzchak, in which both groups agree not to harm the other. The segment ends with some personal information regarding Esav, that at the age of 40 he married 2 women, which, as it turns out, was a source of angst to his parents Rivka and Yitzchak. In a nutshell, this has been the overview of Bereshit Perek Chaf Vav. The pasuk that forms the basis for the Sikha is one that comes at the conclusion of the second section, the tensions section, and relates to the naming of the third well, Rechovot. The names, the place names, the dates change. The script, though, remains the same. As far as the local population is concerned, Yitzchak and those connected to him are foreigners. They are the other, that is now sharing space with the locals and have prospered. Whether this prosperity comes from hard work, alignment of the stars, blessings from the deities, it makes no difference. They have prospered, we have not. This is the script that plays itself out when one group encroaches upon the turf of another. Rarely is there a willingness to accommodate, and unfortunately, there needs to be a winner and a loser. This was the recipe for the tension that erupted between Yitzchak, the perceived foreigner, and the local Gerar population. One of the precious commodities in that part of the world is the availability of water, and the locals hit back at Yitzchak where he was most vulnerable. Yitzchak had a legal title to wells and cisterns that were dug in the days of his father Avraham, not much different to the digging of an oil well. Yitzchak technically had water rights. The population, though, destroyed those wells and those cisterns in which the water was collected. I guess things went from bad to worse, to the point where Avimelech was forced to banish Yitzchak from Gerar. He decides not to fight the issue and voluntarily moves away into the Gerar Valley, hoping to leave the tensions behind him. Before he leaves, though, Yitzchak redigs the wells that had been dug by his father Avraham, and which, following Avraham's death, had been plugged up by the local population. Yitzchak redigs these wells, gives them the names that were given to them by Avraham, and then makes the move into the Nachal Gerar, the Gerar Valley. Top priority, of course, is the supply of water in an area in which rainfall is scarce. So Yitzchak has his workers begin digging the first of 3 wells in Nachal Gerar. After the first well has been dug, he is challenged in terms of the ownership of the water rights. Not wishing to fight, Yitzchak moves further south and digs the second of the 3 wells. Once again there's a dispute. Yitzchak moves even further south, digs the third well out of the territorial lands of Grar, for which there is no dispute. And with the basic need for water under control, Yitzchak can now settle down and move into the old age stage of his life, as is recorded in Perek Chav Zayin onwards.